Hello everyone and welcome to the class tonight. We will do part of the class on here and part of it on Skype. I will send you the link to Skype as soon as we're finished here. I'd like to tell you now in advance that we'll take a break of between 3 and 5 minutes between this and Skype so people can get up and stretch their legs. And for some reason, sitting in front of a computer to do the class is not the same as sitting in the class and doing the class. It really isn't the same. You have to sit and focus, and I know how it is, and I'm going to give you a bit of time in between. Let's get started. How did everybody celebrate the 17th of May? Constitution Day in Norway. It was a little bit different this year, wasn't it? It was different, but at least we celebrated somehow. As long as you celebrated somehow, then that is good. I'd like to start today with phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs. What are those? I'm sure most of you have used them. There are lots of them. Take away, take out, get up, get down, get off. Lots and lots of them are a part of our vocabulary. And sometimes it can get a little tricky. Which preposition goes with what? But we're going to work on this today. We're going to start with some from the book. Everybody get your books? Page 44. Let's go to page 44. I'm going to find myself a spot here. There we are. So here on the top of the page, on the top of this page, where it says vocabulary and speaking, phrasal verbs, literal. So here we have the word literal. When we say something is literal, it's exactly what it seems. For example, if I say, I literally had to pick up everything from the floor myself, meaning I did it. That was exactly what I did. So when something is literal, it is exactly as it seems. Let's take a look at some of the examples here. Phrasal verbs, they consist of a verb plus adverb or preposition. Some phrasal verbs are literal. Like I said to you, they mean exactly what they seem to mean. I wanted to move back home. Move back. Move back home. Back where I used to live. Move back. I used to live there. I moved out, and now I'm moving back in. It took away all hope for the future. To take away. To remove. To remove. She grew up in a small village. It's almost redundant. It's almost an exaggerated version, because when you grow, you can only grow up. Isn't that right? You grow up. When you throw seeds on the ground and the tree grows, it grows up. So that's very literal, very in your face, exactly what it seems to be. So here we have some combinations that we can have for phrasal verbs. And I'd like you to put them together. You have some prepositions: out, at, down, on, back, and off. And you have to combine them with certain verbs. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do it, but I'm also going to explain each and every sentence so that you know why a certain choice was made. To the best of my ability, of course. Let's take a look at the first one. Come in and take blank your coat. Here we have a variety of combinations for take. You can say take out, take down, take on is even a possibility, but not for that particular sentence. But you can say, I am going to take on a new project, meaning I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to do something special, something different, something new. I'm going to take on a new project. So it is a possibility. You can say take on, but not in this particular sentence. Let's take a look at the other combinations and what else we can say here. The next one, put blank something warm. It's cold today. Again, put. You can combine the verb put with many different prepositions and it will give you a different meaning. For example, I can say, you need to put out the fire. Otherwise, you're going to burn the house down. Put out the fire means to extinguish the fire. You throw water on it, you throw a blanket on it, and the fire is gone. To put out the fire. That is one meaning. Put down. To put down, usually not a very good phrasal verb to use because it means to say something bad to someone about themselves. For example, you can say, Jason has a very ugly house and he's awful. Look at his clothes. Look at him. Jason, you look awful. Look at you. Look at your house is a mess. You're awful. I'm putting him down. I'm telling him negative things. So you can put somebody down. You shouldn't, but it is the possibility of combinations of verbs. Put down, to say something negative to someone. Then you have also the combination put on. Put on. You can put on a sweater. You can put on a hat. You can use that for clothing, for accessories, to put on a hat. You can put on a necklace. You can put on a bracelet. You can put on earrings. You can put on a nose ring if you think that's attractive and you like it. So you can put things on yourself. Put back. You go, okay, I don't know how many of you, I know Steve has children. They're grown up now. But imagine, Steve, it's a few years back when the children are little. You go to the store and maybe they walk around and they pick up something from one of the shelves and they want to take it home and it's like, no, we're only here for groceries. Put it back. Put it back where you found it. Usually that's something mommies will say to kids. Put it back. Put it back where you found it. So you can put something back. You take something out and then you put it back. Very literal. Very, very literal. So you have a lot of combinations that you can use, but you have to pick the correct sentence for the combinations. You can already have your ideas as I'm saying these things. You should be trying to make a decision. The next one, there is some ice cream in the freezer. Can you get it? And then blank. Get. What would we do? What would we do if that verb didn't exist? What would we do if we couldn't just combine get with everything? Get on, get off, get up, get out, get away. What would we do without that? So, of course, get is a verb that can be combined with a variety of prepositions, giving the speaker and the listener a variety of meanings. Get up, that's probably the first two-word verb that you learn, that phrasal verb. What time do you get up? What is the first thing that you do when you get up? To get up usually means to get out of bed. Get out of bed. And when you say that, get out of bed, get out of. So this is not even a two-word verb. It has three words. Get out of. So to get up usually means to get out of bed. But here we're just dealing with verbs with two. We're just focusing on these first. So here we have many possibilities. Get out. That's usually something you say to an intruder. If you see somebody in your house, you're not supposed to be there, you say get out, meaning remove yourself from this place right now. Go away. Get out. Go away. Get down. If you watch movies, when you see perhaps a scene when it's an action movie, right? And there is a scene where everyone is at a party, all of a sudden somebody comes in with a gun, or the first thing that you do when you see that, somebody says, get down, and everybody gets down. So this is very literal. That's exactly what people will do. They will put themselves on the ground. Get down. That's another possibility. Get on. Get on. You can say get on the bus, which is very literal, to hop into the bus. Not really hop, but to go into the bus, get on the bus. Very literal. But you can also use get on as in get along with somebody, have a good relationship with somebody. Get on. That's also a possibility. That's something that you can also use that verb for. So it's really important for you to, even if you're not exactly sure, look at the sentence where that two-word verb is, because it might give you an idea of what it means. So again, lots of possibilities. Get on, get off the bus. You get on the bus when you're going into the bus to go somewhere. And you get off the bus when you remove yourself from the bus. Get back. You can also say get back. Get back here. Get back here. You can even say it to small dogs. Get back here. Come on, get back here. Come back here. Get back here. But this is the literal meaning. This is exactly what it seems like it would mean. But you can also use it in a figurative way when you say, he wants to get back at his sister. Now with three elements in this get back at. Revenge. To get back at somebody means to get revenge. For example, somebody does something bad to you and you want to do something bad to them to get even, to get revenge. That is to get back at somebody. Lots of combinations, but I'm not saying which one is what until we actually get there. Next one, look. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Number 4. If you don't feel well, go and lie. Lie is a verb that can mean, of course, to lie, to say something that is not true. That is one possibility. But to lie, you can lie down at the beach. Lie down with the sun on your face, to lie down. It is a combination that you use. Another possibility with lie out in the sun. This one with 3 elements, lie out in the sun. Lie back. You can lie back. You can stand. You can have your, not stand, you can be sitting up. I'm sitting up, right? And my shoulders and my back are not touching the back of the chair. If somebody's very tense and nervous, they're sitting up, very tense and nervous, and then somebody, oh, lie back. So you can lie back on the chair. Let your shoulder and your back touch the chair to lie back. Those are the only possibilities here. Lie out in the sun, lie down, or lie back. You can also lie on the bed before you fall asleep. Lie on the bed. Lie on the floor, which is probably not the most comfortable. You would rather lie on the bed before you go to sleep. The next one, number 5, look. Lots of 2-word verb combinations for look. Look out! Have you heard that one before? Look out! If somebody is about to cross the street, you see somebody, they're distracted. They're on their mobile phone. And they're walking. They're about to cross the street, and you yell at them, look out! There's a car coming. So to get somebody's attention, you can say, look out! You can say that. Look at. Usually, you can say, hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me. To put your eyes on someone, to look at someone. Look down. When people are embarrassed, sometimes they look down. When people are embarrassed, sometimes they look down. Look back. I'm going to look back to see, what is that? I'm going to look back to see what that is. Look back. You can also use it in a figurative way. You can say, I want to move on with my life and I don't want to look back. Meaning, look back into your past. You don't want to remember the past. You don't want to think about the past. You just want to keep moving forward with your life, moving on with your life. So looking back can also be figurative. But here, look back literally means to turn around and look back. Those are the possibilities here, but not you have to pick one for this sentence, because you can combine that verb with a lot of prepositions, but which one fits with this sentence? The next one, number 6, I'll lend you 20 pounds. Pay me blank when you can. Pay. You can pay somebody back. You can pay out. You can also pay something out, to pay everything. Oh, it's paid out. It has been paid for. It is paid out. I paid everything I owned on it. Some people will buy stuff with on credit, and they pay a little bit each month, or they can pay the whole thing out. Pay the whole amount. Now I'm going to give you the correct responses for those. Number 1, come in and take off your coat. Come in and take off your coat. Remember, take off. Not with 1 F, but 2 Fs. Not with 1 F, but with 2 Fs. So here it is. Come in and take off your coat, meaning remove your coat. Take off. This is the literal meaning because the coat is on and you're taking it off. The literal meaning of it. Number 2, the second one. Put blank. Something warm, it's cold today. Number 2 is the exact opposite of number 1. Put on something warm. Take off. I'm going to write here the meaning. Take off is the opposite of put on. So they're opposites. Good, bad, tall, short, opposites. Number 3, there's some ice cream in the freezer. So you have to look at the sentence and you have to make an assessment. So you're thinking about something that's inside the freezer and you're going to remove it. There's some ice cream in the freezer. Can you get it? So something is inside and you're going to remove it, to take it. So when you think about the word in, what is the complete opposite of that word? In, out. So there's some ice cream in the freezer. Can you get it out? Out of the freezer. Number 4. If you don't feel well, go and lie. There's only one space here for one word. And let me explain what I mean. There are things that you can say here to make the sentence correct using different prepositions. For instance, if you don't feel well, go and lie on the couch for a minute. If you don't feel well, go and lie on the bed for a while. Right? You can say lie on. But if you say lie on, you have to complete that sentence with something else. And here you only have one tiny space just for one word. And the best option that you have here is down, lie down, because it's an action in itself. Lie down. It means that you're not going to be seated, you're not going to be seated, you're not going to be standing, you're going to be in lying position. Lie down. So number 4, the correct option is, if you don't feel well, go and lie down. That is the correct one. I gave you some other examples, but then again, I added some words. I added some more words. If you had only one word that you would use to complete that sentence, you would have to be down, lie down. Go and lie down. Number 5. Look blank the countryside. Isn't it beautiful? You have to imagine what kind of situation this is. They're sitting in a car, going somewhere together, right? And then somebody points out the window and says, look at the countryside. In that direction. Look at the countryside. Isn't it beautiful? Look at the countryside. Isn't it beautiful? Number 6. Number 6, I actually am going to take this opportunity to work on something else that is in this exercise, which is probably not the main point of this chapter or what we're doing, but it's very important that we talk about this, because to lend, to borrow, to loan, I am sure, just as I am sure that I will live and die, just as I'm sure that the sky is blue, I am sure that I probably have mentioned this before. I'm sure that you have seen this before somewhere. These 3 verbs, and I'm sure that sometimes you might be a little confused. How do we use those? Do they mean the same thing? I'm just giving you a second to digest it and think about it. Do they mean the same thing? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to explain why. The first one, land. Let us just say that Lisbeth and I are walking down the street one day, and we're talking, and she needs to write something down for some reason. And she says to me, do you have a pen? Can I borrow your pen? Can I borrow your pen? So she's going to borrow the pen from me, right? Another possibility would be to say the very same sentence using the verb to lend. But we have to make some changes, right? If instead of using the verb borrow, I use the verb to lend, I have to change that pronoun over there, because then it will be, can you lend me your pen? Can I borrow your pen? So I am going to borrow it from you. Can you lend your pen to me? So here, borrow, you borrow something from somebody. You borrow something from somebody. And somebody lends you something. Somebody lets you use something that they have. They say, here, use my phone. After you're finished using it, you'll give it back to me. So I'm lending my phone to you. I'm lending my phone to you. During that process, you are borrowing my phone. Which leaves us with to loan. I'm sure everyone's going to love this, because you can say both. Loan can be used for both actions. To loan to someone, to loan from someone. So just think about that. Remember it, and this won't be the last time that you will hear this, especially if you're my students. I constantly will discuss topics more than once because it is important to make sure that it goes in and it stays in there and you remember it. And if you just look at vocabulary, or if you look at anything language-wise, and if you don't use it, you're going to forget it. So that's why it's so important to look at these things, not once, not twice, but every time they show up, I'll remind you. So, number 6, the reason why I started talking about this, number 6, I'll lend you 20 pounds. I'll lend it to you. I'll give you the money. You go spend it on whatever you want, and then you will one day have those 20 pounds and you will want to give them to me. What is that called? You will pay me back. So, number 6, I'll lend you 20 pounds. Pay me back when you can. And that's the reason why I talked about it, because people often ask about it. What's the difference between borrow, lend, and loan and all of that? And it's very important. Very important. To lend something to someone, to borrow something from someone, to loan to loan from. Lend to, borrow from. If you think and you have that in your head, you'll probably always know how to use it. Let's keep going. I'm going to change the screen. Let's see. No, that's what I wanted. All right, the next that we're going to look at, here it says, work with a partner. Take turns to mime one of these phrasal verbs. Can you guess what your partner is doing? We're not going to do that. It would be fun in a classroom with 10 people, but when we're doing this online, it's not as practical. But let's talk about these. Let's talk about these verbs and these situations because they're actually very important. You will need to use all of those. To throw something away. This piece of paper, I don't need this anymore. I'm going to throw it. I'm not going to throw it on the floor, but I'm going to throw it away. Get rid of it. Get rid of something. Throw something away. Let's write some definitions for those. Definitions. To throw something away means to get rid of something. To throw something away. The next one, to try something on. If you look at this picture, there is a lady here looking in the mirror. She's trying on a dress. So to try something on, to put something on and see if you like it, or to put something on to see if it fits. When you buy clothes, it's probably a very good idea to try the clothes on first. Some people don't like trying clothes on. They look and say, oh, this looks This pair of pants looks like it will fit me, and then they go home and they try to put it on and they can't zip it up, and they have to go back and exchange it. So maybe it's a good idea to try it on before you buy it. So to try something on, to look for something. Where is it? I can't find it. To look for something. To look for something. To try to find something. Look for. Remember, look at someone, look at something. I'm going to look at this book. See if there's something interesting in it. I'm looking at the book. If I'm looking for the book, I'm going to have a desperate look. Where is it? I am always looking for my keys, looking for my wallet, looking for small things. I'm always looking for them. And I know that I just need to put my keys in the same spot every day, and it will always be there, but sometimes I forget, so I'm always looking for my things. To look for something, to try to find something. Next, to turn something off. To turn something off. I'm going to turn off the lights. Now I'm going to turn on the lights. To turn off, to turn on. Do not confuse turning on and off with turning down. I'm going to put this in the list for you. To turn something off, to disconnect something, to turn off the radio, to turn off the TV, to turn off the lights. I'm using to disconnect loosely, but I'm just going to put on some examples. To turn off the lights, to turn off the TV, to turn off the air conditioner. Usually electrical appliances. To turn something on. To turn something on, to start something. When you turn on the TV, you're starting the TV. When you turn on the radio, you're starting the radio. So that's to turn something on. To turn round or turn around. Turn around. I'm going to turn around to see what's going on. To move in another direction. To turn round or turn around. To turn around or turn round. To move. To move towards a different direction. To pick something up. To pick something up. If I drop something, for example, this coin, if I drop it, then I can pick it up. To pick up the coin. I don't even know what this coin is, and it doesn't really matter, does it? But to pick something up. You can also pick somebody up. You can pick up a baby, and you can hold the baby like this. You can pick the baby up. Pick up. Now, knowing all of this, to pick up, to remove something from the ground is one option. To lift something. So there are some options. Everybody will get a copy of all the notes. Don't worry. You'll be able to look at the notes later. Complete the sentences with a phrasal verb from exercise 2. So now you have the list. Throw something away, try something on, look for something, turn something off, turn around, pick something up. You have 6 options and you have 6 sentences. You're going to complete each sentence with one of those phrasal verbs. Tips, something that's very important for you to know. Make sure that you use the verbs in the correct form. What do I mean by that? Maybe you have to conjugate it. To conjugate a verb, upphøye, et verb. You might have to conjugate it. Maybe you have to put an ing in the verb, maybe not. Look at the sentence and see if you need to change something or not. Please take 5 minutes to do this exercise, and we'll all meet on Skype for the rest of the class. Take 5 minutes to do the exercise. Get up, go to the bathroom, get a glass of water, and follow the link onto Skype. You'll receive the link. Also, I feel like I should also send you the link on your emails, just to make sure. Just giving you some time to follow the link. See you soon to finish our class.